Thank you for the kind. Thank you for the kind introduction, and thank you to the brave ones that stick around before lunch. So let's get into it. A few years ago, you could abuse customers, and they had no choice because there was not much going on, not much businesses doing the same thing as you're doing. Even our parents or grandparents, they had maybe 2 free shops where they could go and buy things. So they really didn't have much choice of where to buy, what to buy. There was perhaps 2 products of the same category on the shop. So you could either take one or the other. So you really had little choice. But today is very different, right? Today is very, very different. You have lots of people doing the same thing. So it's not really enough to have a high quality product or service. I mean, if you don't have a high quality service or product, you're not even in the game. Right? You're not even in the game. And also, you can't just work on price because someone else can always undercut you on price, right? It's the internet, so if you have one price, the next week your competition has a lower price. So price isn't really the answer. Of course, you need a fair price, but you can't use price for differentiation. So I believe the way to differentiate ourselves and to have a real competitive advantage these days is how we treat our customers, okay? It's really the real competitive advantage. That's why you go to Starbucks and they have your name there on the cup and other small things to make you feel good. And if you don't believe me, we can look at some stats and studies that show this. For example, the probability of you selling to a new customer, it's much, much smaller than the probability of you being able to sell to an existing customer. So obviously you want to stick, you want to maintain your existing clients because you can upsell to them, you can do cross-selling to them. And also studies show that it takes 12 positive experiences to make up for just one unresolved negative experience. So this means if the person has a problem with one of your services or a plugin or a theme, and the question doesn't get resolved, it will take you 12 interactions, positive ones, until the person gains again the trust and the confidence and the reputation they had before, right? It's a lot. Also, for every customer who bothers to complain, it is estimated 26 others have the same problem, but they remain silent. So we should be really thanking this guy who is complaining because he's giving us feedback. And if we solve his issue, we're probably solving an issue that other people have as well. And of course, we know news travel fast. So what's fun is that it seems bad customer service reaches much more people than good customer service. So we really have to strive ourselves to do good work. And also, 7 in 10 Americans said they were willing to spend more with companies they believe provide excellent customer service. So if people perceive you as having a good service, they're willing to spend more with you. That's logic, I think. So how can we do this? How can we get the best level of support, organize ourselves, our business to do this? First of all, I think we have to make it a priority. It's not going to happen instantly. And we have to, I think, once we understand the why this is important, and the why is because it's a real competitive advantage these days, then we can figure out the how. And I think the how will be different if you're a one-person company or five people or 10 people. Of course, it's going to be different. But if you know the why, the how will become clearer, and you can work on that. And I think the main line will be you will have to train your team, obviously, and establish some guidelines on how support should work in your company. For example, in Widgilabs, we have a single support channel, which is email. And we use a tool called Freshdesk. It's similar to Zendesk and many others. It works by ticketing. And you should really have one of these tools if you're doing support these days. And when we have clients, we explain the benefits of using such a tool, because it's not just sending emails back and forth every time. You have a place where you can see all the open issues, what's the status on that problem, on the other problem. You don't have to keep everything in your head, and clients also understand that. So this is a real interaction we had at Widgilabs just a few weeks back. This client bought one of our teams, and he had a problem, and he sent out a tweet. Hi, I just downloaded and installed your team, but my sessions have no schedule and the plugin is installed. What to do? This is about a conference theme we sell. And what happened was this tweet came out on our Slack automatically, because we have that integration. And once I saw this, I created a ticket on our ticketing system, and I replied back to him. Sorry, you are experiencing that. Our team will reach out to you ASAP, so as soon as possible. The way to reach them is via support@widgilabs.com. Thanks. And he said, thanks, just got mail about a new ticket that you created. So what happened was, he sent out a tweet, and immediately he got an email. And he was like, what? What happened? This is strange. But it's an interesting way of interacting, I think. And then once we solved the issue, he said, oh, thanks a lot. I'm now able to edit the schedule. Great service. Have a nice day. Hey, simple. Ooh, small wins. Of course, this was within the same hour or so. So very fast customer service is also important. And sometimes we manage, sometimes we don't. We're a small team, so we're not always on the lookout for support, but we try our best. So how can you train your team? I believe if you have a small team, let's say between 5 and 10 people, I think the best way is to organize internal events and schedule training and simulate taking requests via phone and via email. We did this at Widgilabs, and it was like one of us pretending to be a support agent on the phone, and another one of us pretending to be a client. And then we would simulate problems. Hi there, good morning, this is Widgilabs, how can I help you? And the other person would say, oh, this team sucks, you suck, this is I'm having a lot of problems, etc., etc. And we would, from those interactions, train our team and derive guidelines on how we should speak and treat our customers and solve issues. If you have a bigger team, then a good way is to use your existing team to coach and help with onboarding new people that are coming into the team. Of course, I think you have to be very proud of your support service and your team. I think we also have to support the growth of our colleagues and ourselves, so send them out to conferences, to training events, coach them, coach yourself, and really try to learn the mindset of providing a great customer service. I think also supporting and maintaining a positive and energetic workplace is very important, because if people are happy at work, that will pass along to customers. When you talk to them, they will feel that energy as well. So at Widgilabs, I see our team as being small but agile. We're normally between 5 and 8 people. We deal with every issue. If there's ever an issue we cannot solve, we offer a refund to the person. Or if we find the theme or the plugin doesn't fit the needs of the client, we offer a refund, no questions asked. I think that greatly reduces the risk for the client. And I think we're smart, I don't know, but I think we're smart, and we also are humble. So we're not trying to teach our clients things just to show we're very smart, but we try to solve issues quickly and the best we can. And I think psychology trumps skill. This means if we have the right attitude, everything else comes into place, I think. I think also one thing most people don't understand is that great service equals marketing. Because if people provide great service, people will talk about you and your business. And also, if you provide great service, that will create a lasting memory in the person, in the client. And I think this is simply because everyone else is not doing that. So people are not expecting to be treated well somehow. In Portugal, we have this word which is called desenrascar. I don't know if you understand the word desenrascar. It's a bit like doing, rushing, solving an issue on top of your, not working, not making really an effort to do the best, but the minimum you can get away with, right? And we have to go beyond that. Your support, the way you treat your customers, is your brand. It's the only thing your competition cannot steal from you, right? If you do a fancy thing on your website, next week your competition will copy that. If you put a live chat, next week your competition will have a live chat. But the way your people treat your customers, they cannot steal that. And I found that after solving an issue for a client, that's a perfect moment for asking for a testimonial, because the client is open to provide that. So after a successful resolution of an issue, you can ask for a testimonial and use that to feed into the marketing as well. And I think support is really about this, learning to understand, anticipate, and consistently fulfill the deepest needs of the clients. This is what business is about as well. And it's about overcoming obstacles. In terms of metrics, a lot of people obsess over speed. So they're checking, how long took us to solve all the issues this week? Are we very fast on the support, or are we not? And I think while speed is obviously important, and the first interaction of support needs to be quick, people expect that these days, it's generally not the biggest concern of the customer. They really want to have the issue solved rather than just have very quick interactions and getting answers back all the time. Actually, research, this is more offline research. So shops and retail and banks, etc. But research shows that spending a little more time with customers is actually something that can benefit the business. So as humans, we know that we like attention on us, and we like feeling we are being taken care of, and that's important. So obviously, if you're doing tickets, this is more difficult to do. But for example, on a live chat, or if you're doing support over Slack, spending a little more time with customers and understanding what they're doing and what they do might be something that works well as well. And there's an article called "When Speed Kills," and they have this quote there that I think illustrates this concept of speed kills, which is at a sandwich shop. Obviously, you want to get the sandwich as quick as possible, but you don't want like a tasteless sandwich. You want a good sandwich as fast as possible. So this is key. In terms of support profile, I think we need people that like people. One way to find that is maybe ask the person, how do you learn? Are you more of a reader or a listener? So this has to do with how we learn and how we understand things. Some people understand more by writing and then reading, and some people understand better and learn better by speaking about it and reading it out loud. So think about when you study something. Are you more of a person that writes everything and then reads, or are you more a person that talks out loud to feed that into your mind? And of course, the eternal question is, should software engineers and also designers work as tech support? Should they? I think one of the problems is the interruption factor. So if we're doing a project or programming or creating some design, should we stop that to go and answer a support request? And also, not everyone is good at support. We have to recognize that. Not everyone is good at support. So, and also if you're hiring a developer, or if you're a freelancer now and you're doing support, that's probably fine. But then when you hire someone as a developer, it may be an inefficient use of resources to pay a developer to do tech support, because it's probably cheaper to have someone doing support. And limited liability. This is something we now see every day on those terms of service on the internet and contracts. They all state this. It's like, we're not responsible for any cause damage on your website or by the intervention of our tech people. We're not responsible. And I think we need the opposite of this. We actually need personal commitment. I will get that shit done, you know. You have my word, it will get done. I will see it personally that you have the situation fixed as ASAP. I will personally take care of your account, you know. I will get that shit done for you. And a good story of this is Andy McMillan. A few years ago, he had a problem with PayPal. He had his account locked. And he had about 40,000 pounds freezed, so he couldn't use this money. And he really needed this money to pay bills. So he was very frustrated, and he contacted customer support, and they said, we will not be releasing any funds. And he was very frustrated. He then went out and decided to tweet about it to see if the internet had any ideas of how to help. And these are 2 tweets he sent out. And at the time he was very frustrated because, like I said, he needed the money to pay bills. He was a bit struggling at the time. And the support people, they kept on saying, you need to send us documents, you need to send us that, and he did. And they said, this is still not enough, we cannot release the funds. And he started thinking, how am I going to solve this? Am I going to court with PayPal? Is that even possible to do? I mean, how can I solve this? How can I get my money back? And he was very concerned. And luckily for him, the next day something magic happened, which was David Marcos, PayPal's CEO at the time, reached out personally to Andy. He wrote him a letter, okay? And I have here a bit of that letter. And he wrote, Andy, the team will reach out between now and Monday, and they will lift all limitations and release all of your funds now. Okay, so in the first sentence, he solved the issue. And then he continued, if anything, please know that I'm now going to use your story to radically change how we deal with holds and communicate with our customers. I'm driving a lot of changes at PayPal. I took over 5 months ago. And I hope that over time, we will earn your trust again. Not with words, but with delightful products and amazing service. If you believe in this, I'd like to enroll you to help me out. If you'd like to keep accepting PayPal for payments, now that you have a direct channel, you can give me feedback so I can get directly from the outside. Okay? And then he ends up the letter saying, you now have my mobile number, feel free to call me. So Andy was very happy and he got his issue solved. But I think that the key points are, make it personal. Solve the issue quickly. But above all, genuinely care about the issue. and take it as feedback to improve. Some books I recommend. One of them is called Delivering Happiness by Tony Heisch from Zappos. And he really talks about this mindset of excellent customer service. Zappos is built all around just this key concept. They say, our business is customer service. They're very focused on this. And also a classic is called Simple Truths of Service. It's a classic. If you have the opportunity, read it as well. And this is me and my wife. It's a bit dark, but we visited Zappos last year. And it's an amazing place where the focus, like I said, is customer support, but the way they do that is by treating their workers the best way they can. So they have conditions to do the best level of support they can. And I think that's a lesson we can all learn from. And now the question is, how can you go beyond what is expected in your line of work? If you're a freelancer or a small business or even a bigger business, how can you go beyond what is expected? That's the way, that's the key to wow your customers, is deliver more than they're expecting. And you can do this in a number of ways. So thank you very much, and hopefully see you around. If you have any questions, thank you.